It is Halloween night here in Sweden, and I am close to midnight now when I'm recording. But it isn't the Halloween that is from United States. This is church Halloween. So it's not about scaring people. It is a place I think I have talked about it last year when it was Halloween also, that we place candle lights on the graves of our loved ones. It is lots of lights, candles burning in the cemetery tonight, in the night, until it's going out. So, but I am not into that anymore. I have been. It have changed everything for me have changed. I have developed knowledge and understanding, so it doesn't. So I don't do it anymore. But I'm thinking about my parents this night. But I think about them sometimes, even if they were not the best parents. They were at least in my life a little for a short time. And it's my mother, she didn't want to have a grave, so her ashes is in an unknown place where people can do that, place their ashes on a hill in the cemetery. And my father, he was also burning and was placed in his parents' grave for a long time ago now. And the grave is not there anymore. It was an old grave, so they took it away. After 50 years, they take it away here in Sweden. If it's not something that an organization pay for it, a famous person that is laying there, then there is money for that, to let the grave be there. But ordinary people, as my parents, they take it away after 50 years. And I tried to hold it, the grave, for my father, so I pay after 50 years. Because I say that my children are so young, so they need to have this grave. But today I know that there is no important to have a grave, because they are not in the grave. It's bodies that be rotten and go down to the soil again, and there is nothing there. So, and I know that most of people, they are still alive in heaven, so they are not in the grave. So it is not important anymore for me to celebrate Halloween. and the other Halloween that we have, that the children walk around and try to scare. The last time I did it was in United States, in Salt Lake City, when I lived with this doctor, and he liked to buy candies, and he bought most healthy things, and then ordinary water in a bottle for the children. They didn't need to have sugar, that he says. So I think it was fun in that time to see how it was in United States on Halloween, and so that it was 2017. So I was in Utah, in Salt Lake City. Maybe 2016, in the end of the year. So I have been working on my Jewish line, and yesterday I got in contact with a man, a Swedish man, that was Jewish, and he lived in Israel, and he, like many of you, you have only a telephone and have internet there, and I don't like to have a telephone to look in for what's going on internet. I want the big view, so I have a laptop to sit and see things, and I can see it very clear. But it I think about that people only have a small telephone, and they don't see anything what's going on, and in that way have the devil done it. But then is it people's choice also how you want to see internet. Most people want to only see internet just when they are on the run, out walking, and then they look in their telephones and they don't see anything, so they don't know how much I write on internet, and it's hard even to find this podcast also for people, because it's have shrinking and being on telephones now. So it's the work of the last days. That's one of the sign of the last days, that this blinded the message for people. And I see it. The podcast, it's last episode I did, it was on SoundCloud. There is only 8 people that have listened, and maybe not listened the full time, and it's a little up and down in those other platforms. I have the podcast. I have on Spotify my podcast, and I have on Apple and some other, and I place on Twitter and I don't remember the other name of, but most of where I can place the podcast for free I have. So it's only that I see it on SoundCloud, and it's going down, so it's almost dead, and that is not good because SoundCloud is on other platforms, so they copy from SoundCloud to other platforms, so it's not good if it's cause problems. But it is we are living in the last day, and it's much going on that is so very evil things going on, and I can't work with a message to the world like I wanted to do, but heaven knows that, and it's very, very important to tell you that it is not in the last days. It is not heaven that have the control. They have control in many things, but they don't have the control over what the end will be for this planet. I maybe have to remind you every time I recording my podcast. They waiting for action from this world. It's not they that do the last days and the last day. That's why you don't get the answer from those books, holy books that is written, that you don't know the day, you don't know the time when the last will be. And the last day that is the only thing I can answer you about that. The last day, no one knows that, because it have with the action on earth what we response on heaven, and like me, that is a messenger from heaven, and what you react on what I'm telling. If you don't want to listen at my podcast anymore, that's your action. It's not heaven's action, it's your action, and they waiting for to see how you react, or how the world react on what's going on. If they think it's great to have these evil things going on like it is today, then is it a decision our world and the planet do? And so they see it and they wait for action. And I don't know how long time we have left, but it is very clear that we live in the last days. I have already talked about my mother that thought the last days was when Hitler was. But it's so different today. It's those smaller drones can fly over my head and let a bomb coming down on my head. They can be out on the sea and then shoot away a bomb to kill many people, and they can do those nuclear this tower to let go down with a drone into with a bomb, like I have talked about that they did that. It was drones over our nuclear plants, and the newspaper say it was tourists that was flying over the nuclear plants with the drones and take picture. But I think it's so great in this evil thing that God show us, because it was very strong wind in the night when the drones was over the nuclear plant. And how could they be over the nuclear plant with it was almost like storm outside. How could they fly like that if it was tourist with not so expensive and advanced technology in them? So it was a sign what will be, and today those political people, they want to build more nuclear plants now. So that is some plans from the evil things. It seems good that we get more electricity, but it's bad because they're gonna break those pipes down, and we get nuclear all over the country, all over the area. So the good is bad. They don't want to build so much out on the sea in this wind electricity. In Denmark want to build one here out in the sea, so we can see it from my home here, very big. But the Swedish political doesn't want that. They want nuclear plants, so it's very bad. But I was talking to this man from that live in Israel, and it was surprising that he had lived in this city where I am, but now he lived in Israel and was Jewish and from those higher priests line, and he was talking to me about some of what to do, and he's talking about the DNA test, and it is My Heritage. They are in Israel. So I have written to them to make a test at their office, because this man was saying that the DNA, those Jewish in Israel think that you can buy blood from a Jewish person and test it, and it will be DNA match on you. But I have not done it. I have done 2 DNA tests, and one in the United States and one in Ireland. So in 2 different places I have sent, and I should never do that, as God have told me when I was in Jerusalem to do my DNA. And then I should never buy blood from a Jewish person, because I do what God is telling me to do. And God didn't tell me in Jerusalem to 2016, God didn't tell me to go and buy blood from a Jewish person. I do only what God is telling me. So what this man is telling me, that I only listen when people talking to me and give advices. But in the end, after they have given me advices, I ask God if what I should do with those advices. So I don't say yes to what they are telling me. But if I have the money to could do a DNA test, and I look at it on the internet, and it should only take 3 to 5 days to get the result, so that I can do when I am in Israel. That is one idea that I will do if I have that money. If someone support me with the money to could do the DNA. It's in Tel Aviv, so it you know that I can't go with public transportation because my brain is not good in that to walk. So I need to take a taxi, and it is much money. And this man, he's married, so it's no one that is for me. But it was nice to talk to a Swedish person in Israel, and he is in Tiberias, where Jesus was walking on the lake. So he's far away from Jerusalem. But he was talking to me on in his telephone, and that is good advice if I get that kind of money to could do it. I am very tight of money. And he told me, how are you going to stay in Israel? He asked me, are you going to live in Israel? He said. And I say, I don't know anything about the future. I say, and I told him that I have heard from heaven that I should travel to Israel, and that is my 4th time. And those other times I have coming back home. So I don't know. And he said that it's so very expensive in Israel now. It's almost that no one can live that have a normal income, can't live in Israel. Everything is so extremely expensive, and say to me, but he don't understand that I am going to Israel. I visit Israel because heaven have told me to go there. He don't understand. He think it's literally everything, but it is spiritual things I do. since year 2000 is it only spiritual things. And so I don't know what will happen, but it's a good idea to go and do the DNA in Israel so they can take the blood directly, directly in my finger and place it to test. So I can't fake it. So they see that it's really done. So that I'm going to do that if I have that money to could take a taxi from Jerusalem until from Jerusalem to Tel Aviv to do that test and have money for the test also, and drive back to the hotel. So that's one thing I do one day if I have that money. Like he say, it's very expensive in Jerusalem. So in Israel it's very expensive now. It's very much greedy, and this man, this Swedish man, he is accepted as a Jewish, back coming Jewish. He told me that he have worked for the military in Israel, and he told me that they are thinking that in the last days they're thinking literally in everything. They are not spiritual people. So they think that Iraq will come and take Israel, and he say one more country that should come and take over Israel, and that will be the end of days. So he don't understand that it's a spiritual thing, but the spiritual thing can go with the literary. It doesn't say that it need to be spiritual only, so we don't see it. We are going to see the last days. We are going to see the last day. That is literally in that way that it's going to be in front of our eyes, and what will be. And all people's eyes is going to be open because they gonna understand. They don't see it now. There is sign of it, but they don't see before it's too late what was going on. And I say that to you, that the last day everyone is going up to heaven, and that very few go to hell, so you don't need to be worried if you have not done many bad things and you don't want to repent, and that you don't want to see it, what evil you have done. But people that repent, they are going to heaven. So you don't need to be worried about it. It maybe be scary to see it and hear it. For you that have not had this life that I have and developed understanding what will be, because I am not going to be scared about it. And I don't know what will be in Israel. I'm not scared to go there, even if some people have said that to me now because it's so much going on, and they say that it's very brave of you to go to Israel by yourself, alone. And then I am disabled also. But it's not me. I have to go what the heaven is telling me what I should do. I have to forget myself in this. I have to go with the spirit world, not the literally world. The literally world am I going to Israel, and that is why the people have left me. They don't want to listen at my podcast because I'm talking spiritual things, and they don't understand the spiritual things. And it doesn't matter if they are pastors, if they are professors, what they are. It doesn't matter because they don't understand the spiritual things. That there is a realm that is behind their understanding is not so wide. Many are very intelligent and well educated, but in the world and not in the spirit. So once he was saying that to me, this man that called me, and he said that he say about mental issues. Do you have mental issues like that? He said to me. So that it's sad because he don't understand that I'm talking spiritual things, and that it's what I'm hearing about many times. People ask me, and they say behind my back that I have mental issues. They don't understand, and they don't want to understand. They think that I should be like them, to live in the world and living literally. And that's not what I'm doing. And it's gonna be a surprise for them that the day when it is the last day for them. The private last day. There is two last days. Last day and last days. That is a personal last day. People are not living until heaven is coming down to them, so they can see the heaven coming down. They don't live so long, so there for them is it the last days and the last day before we get it. There is one last day and last day for those that live in the world, and for us other there is another last day and last days for us. So it's different. It's not for everyone, those last day and last days. they cut off their life by the way they are thinking and what they are doing. And that is not about the real spiritual last day and last days. So you need to think about that. It's not the same thing. I think I have more to say about spirit things, but I will do that tomorrow. I have visit here. I have visit all the time, but someone is coming and make me have hard to focus of my own thinking. It's a man coming, and he have not those white clothes. He look like very poor. He's very long, and he have brown gray clothes, and it's not fabric done. It's not design clothes. It's only like placed on him only for to not be nude. It's very sad person, but he look strong, but he look very sad in his clothes. And he's saying like, I should not disturb you, he's saying. But I say, if you are coming through and you want to say something, you should say it, because there is many that is coming through and want to talk. So next time you want to talk to us, you maybe can't do that because it's so much people before you. And he's telling it's about this with Halloween, he say. Is this that that's is why he, in some way, he look like coming up from a grave, and only placed on him something to hide that he's nude. And it is a symbolic thing that he do this. And I need to ask him why he showing this for me now. He say that some are placed in the ground, and it is they will not coming up. He said to me that there is people that can't be forgiven because of what they have done. And now he touched me so much, and he say that this is the people that try to trick themselves into heaven, he say. But they are dirt, and they will be in the dirt. It's symbolic, it's not literally. So you have to listen at it symbolic and in a spirit way. He said that I have a discussion with him, and I said, I asked him if they can't avoid to be laying there in the grave. And he said that is some people digging themselves down so deep, so there is no help for them. We can't take them up from those graves they are digging themselves in. So when we try to help them, they go deeper down. So it's a lack of communication between us and them. And we try to dig them up, but in the way they are doing, they don't want to listen, they don't want to see, they want to dig themselves deeper down, he's saying. So it's not literally, it's symbolic that you do bad things, and then when you are scared about what you are doing, when you realize that, and it's for you, is it that you can't dig yourself up so you can see the light. Instead of it, you act and you think like it doesn't help any way I do, so I dig me more down. Do we understand what he was talking about? Because he have left now, and I'm talking to you. That he's talking about how you can kill yourself in that way, that you decide yourself that is no idea to help you. It's no idea to see the light. You make the decision, like you should be like a god to yourself. That is what he's talking about. That you have decided to kill yourself. I'm not talking about suicide. I mean to live your life so very bad, because it's like it's a punishment of yourself, and sometimes it's a punishment of what other people have done to you, and you don't see that you have nothing with that to do. You see yourself as other people see you. And that is wrong, because you should love yourself and not let other people decide for you if you should live or die. And I don't mean with suicide, to live a very bad life. You make people decide for you. And that is this Halloween night that because it's full moon out also. So it's much energy and the spirit come through to talk to you about this, to kill yourself not in suicide, because it's just now drastic. It's what you are doing. You live your life to dig you deeper and deeper down. That is what he's talking about. And that is not really suicide. Suicide is you think about to do a suicide and you do it. This is to live your life for a long life, and you be worse and worse. You go down, go down, go down in step. And there is always a staircase up. You see, the stairs is not only going down, the stairs is going up also. And you can turn around in the stairs and walk up again. That's what he's talking about to you. And you make a decision now when you hear this to walk up in the staircase and not go down anymore. That is the gift he gave to us this night when he come through. So it was very interesting, man. Thank you for coming through and talk to us. And it's a very strong spirit is here now. And it is I didn't felt it coming, but it is here, and it's strong, like it is God that is here. It's very, very strong. And he say, this is God is saying. He say that no one should place God, him, into themselves. He say that you should not play God on your own life. You need to listen, and the message is sent to you, for we care for you. We don't want to have anyone walking hurted and kill slowly themselves in this way that he was talking about. It's God that is talking now. No one take the decision like it is me that have make a decision for you. He's saying that, God saying these things, that it hurt God when you take him as a tool for you to destroy yourself. He's talking about this, to not play God on your own. You can, everyone here that listen, know that, should know this, that you can only live here and now. You can't live on what was in the future, what it was in the past. You can't live on that because you live here and now. And you don't know the future. No one knows the future if we have not told them about the future, but no one knows the future. It can be, your life can be cut off 5 minutes from now. You don't know, and you have no control over it. So you can only live here and now. And I'm saying that to you, that you should live here and now. Live here and now, not the opposite. I say that you should live and not die. You should live. Thank you, God, for saying these things. I was on my way to end this podcast chapter when God come through. And it's good that he come through. It was a long time since he was here. Thank you, God. And thank you for listening. And have a blessed time today that you are in now. Whatever year do you listen at this, whatever day you listen at this. This is Anna Evalot Virginius in Sweden.